Hi, everyone. I'm Gary Fisk, professor of psychology at Georgia Southwestern State University. This is the third video in my series on using PSPP software for data analysis. This is an adjunct to my website, which has more screenshots and basic beginner information. What we're going to do in this video is just do some very basic manual data entry. In the previous video, we set up our variables. Now we're ready to enter some numbers and information. Okay, so here we have our data editor here. I've got it clicked on the data view. You can see the variables here: last name, first name, sex, exam 1 and exam 2. Okay, I want to show you one other thing too. When I saved that data file in the last video, it created a new window, one called output. And this is a very basic PSPP or SPSS feature. The data and the analyses are all entered in one window, the data editor. And then the output, the statistical results, all pop up in this window. There's also some occasional system dialog type things that come up in this window. You can save this output then. So the outputs and the data are always separate from each other. All right, well, I'm going to hide that for now. We don't really need it at the moment, but you'll see in a moment what we can do with that. All right, so here's my data file. I'm going to do just some very basic manual data entry just so you can get an idea of how it works. We're setting up a very simple grade book. The first thing a teacher might want to do if they're setting up their grade book is enter some student names. So I'll enter Doe and Jane, and we can enter a few other people too, I guess. Brown, James, let's see. Let's see. I'll enter my name, Fisk, Gary, and I don't know, who else do we want to have here? Doe, John Doe, something like that. Okay, so you get an idea of how that works. We can just enter numbers, and it's just like a spreadsheet in how you'd enter numbers that way. Here's where we're going to code the sex for each person. And actually, let's talk a little bit more before we go there. Talk about the organization of all this. The way it works is that each column is going to be one variable. Can you see that? Each column is one variable, and then each row, or case as they call it, is going to be one person, right? So each person's going to have their own row of data. So as we go from left to right in this Jane Doe row, we're going to get all of Jane Doe's data in that row. All right, so we'll work row by row. So here's where we're going to enter information like sex. Our code was 1 for male, 2 for female, 3 for non-binary. So I'll put 2 here for female. We can use tabs here. I can put in 2 and then tab over, and it will go over to the next field. Let's say she got an 88 on the first exam and a 79 on the second exam. All right. Okay. I can hit either enter or tab this way. All right. So here's another person, right? James Brown. We'll click 1 for male. Let's say he got a 93 and an 82. Here's me. I'll enter. I got 100s on both of these. Ho, I'm the teacher. I'm smart. And then here's the last one, John Doe. We'll say male and 85 and 86, something like that. Okay. All right. So we've entered some basic data. You can see how it works. It's very much like using a spreadsheet at this point. Nothing really amazing about that or new. Again, I recommend saving periodically. So let's go ahead and save this. We'll click the save here, or you can press on the save button. Notice that when I save, each time I save, it's going to make a little line in my output window here. Whoops, disappeared there like that. It's going to make a little line in my output window when I save it. So I can see each time. Let's try it again here. See how it makes it on the output window? It's SPSS's or PSPP's way of keeping track of what's going on. All right, so if we want to do an analysis, then we'll go to the Analyze menu here. This is where the similarities between PSPP and Microsoft Excel or other spreadsheets really break down. In a spreadsheet, what you would do is you'd have some fields have or cells have numbers or letters, and then some have formulas, right? Like equals sum A1 to A3 or whatever. That's not how it works in here. The cells in here just contain data. That's it. We don't put any formulas or anything like that in the cells. If we want to do an analysis, what we do is we go to this Analyze menu, and there's all kinds of things we can choose from. We can, do many different things like that. There's descriptive statistics, there's tables, there's means, and so on. I'm going to just do some very basic descriptive statistics here on just to show you quickly, right? So I'll go to Analyze Descriptives, and then a little menu pops up like this, or a dialog box. Here we can choose which variable we want to analyze. Let's say we want to put in our exam scores. All of our possible variables are going to be over here on the left. I'll move them over here to the right, this variables window, and it's checked off all the different analyses that we could do. There's variance and all kinds of things here. And then when we're happy with this, we can select OK. When we do that, what we'll see is we now have a table in our output. It's got the basic descriptive statistics in it for each group. It's got the number of people, the average, the standard deviation, minimum, and maximum. So that in a nutshell is how it works functionality-wise. We enter all of our data here in the data editor, right? We use those variables that we configured and enter our data. Then when we want to do an analysis, we can select the analysis we want from the Analyze menu. The analysis is going to come out over here on the output menu, or output window, I should say. If we want to save this menu here, there's possibilities for it. We can print it and do a few other things. It's got an export file, so let's try exporting it. I'm going to export it. I'll save it on my desktop, and we'll call it my PSPP output. This is if we want to get it out of PSPP format and save it in another way of doing things. So it can save it as text. There's a word processing format called Open Document, and then there's also one that is, PDF files. I like PDF files for most things. We'll just save it as a PDF file. Notice I gave it a .pdf name on it. That .pdf name will help it identify what kind of file it should create. And then when we click on it, it should have our output in a PDF file. So, okay, well, that's a good basic introduction to, entering data and getting a very basic output. We'll be looking at this a little bit more again. We'll look at importing data from a comma-separated file, comma-separated values, I should say, and then we'll see how that works. There's a wizard that can help us with that. All right, well, thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next video.